Hello and welcome to Premiere Scene. I'm Nicola Johnston and we're here at the Lyric Hammersmith for the UK premiere of the Polish film Yuma. You researched this film for 6 years. I'd like you to tell us a little bit about the style of the film and how you brought your vision to life.
Yes, I did research the film for 6 years. I started going there in 2004. And just the stories I found there were incredible. So I had to go back and find out more. And the more I researched, the more I had to research. The main thing was to get a story out of all this research, because the stories were so many. They were interesting, they were fascinating, they were horrifying. And to find out what story I need to tell, I want to tell from all this, and whose perspective I want to show on this subject matter was a big issue for me. Not only that, because also I thought about Yuma and what it was, and I thought, should Yuma be the subject or should it be in the background, you know? And I chose for Yuma to be the background for a story about people. And the style of the film is sort of a Western. It's shot on a CinemaScope, and we try to film it like a Western. Many shots are against sunlight. And Ziga has a fantasy, you know, he's born in the wrong place and wrong time. He reads books, watches Westerns, and he is dreaming all the time. So this whole thing that's happening is his fantasy. I mean, it really happens, but it's filtered through his mind, and we try to shoot the whole film as if it was a projection of his mind and fantasy. So things are not really real. They are, but they aren't the whole time.
To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage, I wax a chunk like a candle.
What were some of the challenges that you faced as an actress when developing your character?
First of all, it was the historical area that you know, the 90s, 80s in Polish place of that times, and we had to focus, we had to make a research, had to focus on finding the climate, the atmosphere of these times. And second of all, as you said, it was just personal research, remembering the first big love and finding the pain of a girl being hurt by a boy.
Those times, things changed so fast. These people were living in communist times for 60, 50 years, and then one day somebody told them it's over. And the world ended in one day. The next day we have capitalism. What the hell does this mean? What are they supposed to do? They know nothing about it, so they just try to do it on their own. And they turn to bandits. They turn into thieves and gangsters later.
The main character is Zyga, and Bayadera, the role I play. It's the main theme of the character is actually losing innocence, just like you said, and it's good that it's seen on the screen. There are a few scenes that are out of in the scenario that are not on the seen on the screen actually. And I think this theme is more seen in these scenes.
The journey for your character is a very painful one. I mean, she's so in love with Zyga, isn't she? And she never really gets the love back from him.
She is just like average teenage girl. She's just in love, and that's the theme of the character.
Zyga for me is Hamlet.
Or Romeo.
Or Romeo.
Romeo, yeah.
Or Macbeth. And his aunt is Lady Macbeth. So I don't want to compare myself to Shakespeare in any moment, but I did have this in mind. I felt that Zyga is a character who's born in the wrong place, in the wrong time. He's too subtle, he's too delicate, and he has to live in a world that's the Wild West. So imagine Hamlet being put in the Wild West. I mean, he
has to fight to survive.
He has to fight to survive for sure. As you can see in the film, he doesn't do like the others do. He doesn't drink so much, he doesn't do the girl thing, and he doesn't drink vodka or do drugs or anything. He's the mastermind, and all the time he's insecure about what he's doing.
He's very introverted, isn't
He's very close and introverted. He's with them, but he's separately. He's an island on his own. Definitely. The aunt is a character, you know, she owns the whorehouse. She's running the whorehouse, but as you can see in some scenes in the film, the girls live in this whorehouse. So she's actually running a home at the same time. She's a mother figure. So she's running a home, there's some kids in the background, some people cooking, and you know, and so in the back of the house is the home, and in the other room is workplace. So she's a human being, this aunt, you know.
You also looked like you had a lot of fun filming this project. What was it like working with your wonderful director?
Piotr is really great director, great producer, and great man, by the way. He's got the sense of humor, something that really not often happens in with directors, not often, because lots of directors don't have a self-distance, you know. They concentrated on the subject they treat it very seriously. And from the very beginning, Piotr said that, and the scenario was a comedy a bit. Half of the movie is absolutely a comedy, I think so.
You would have got that from tonight, the reaction, everyone in the crowd laughing away. It must have been fantastic to hear that.
It was, really. The audience in London is great, I have to say it. We had the very first premiere, we had it on the festival in Karlove Vary, and it was good, I think, this premiere. Then we had in Warsaw, okay. Here in London, it was just, we didn't suppose the audience would be so good.
It's a dark subject matter, and I did try to inject humor into it, but also it came on its own. Because, you know, it was funny. Some situations were really funny, and we laughed when we wrote it. We laughed when it was on the set, when we were on the set, and just, it was not fully intentional. We did think about it, but something just happened, because that's life. And the actors helped also, because they are funny. What I like about the film, which is strange to say about my own film, but what I like about the film is that humor mixes in such close range with drama, within one scene even. There is a scene where Zyga and his pals are stopped by the cop, by the guy who's chasing him all the time. And Rysio tries to be the good guy, the sheriff. He pulls him out of the car, he wants to see his license and everything, and the other guy said, "What is this? What's going on?" And in this scene, we go from humor to tragedy, because the guy, he hits the policeman in the face, and it's the end of innocence in this scene. Then we move a few seconds later to a funny part where the cops can't find the keys from the chase car because the other cop lost them somewhere. So we laugh, and then we cut back to the car driving away with Zyga and his pals, untouched, unharmed by the police. And there is this nostalgic music when they're driving away, like we're going into another film, another world right now. So that's what I tried to do in the film.
Spokojnie, tu nie ma złodziei.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
The reality was horror, absolute horror. So I had long periods when I was depressed. I didn't want to go back to this. I didn't want to write it. I didn't want to make the movie. And one time I was researching and just driving around. I went to Germany. I went across the border to Germany and saw these nice people and these nice stores. And I said, how could anybody go and do this? What's going on? Who am I telling this about? What's this? These kids there. So I tried to make the characters in the film likable. This is why.
You succeed.
But this is why I focused on the first early years of Yuma, when the innocence was still there. And I wanted to show them how romantic it was for them to go and make a life for themselves, to smell better, to look better, to have nice shoes on their feet, just the basics. The first things they stole was light bulbs and toilet paper and chewing gum. Very innocent, so it made me really sad to think about it. And when they were still kids and young and innocent, I wanted to show them. And I thought that was innocent and that was in a way, quote unquote, okay. This is why I will not do a sequel, because then they just turned to gangsters, and it was just simple gangsters, no more.
Танец Юманя. През граница планетолком мой спиритус.
Can you tell us about your involvement with the film Yuma?
Okay, so I'm part of the distribution team, and I guess what we wanted to do is we wanted to bring a very good and successful Polish film to the UK. We saw the film a while back, and we knew it was going to be a very big hit. And actually, in Poland, it's outsold the Bourne Legacy every week since it's been out. So the last 3 weeks, it's outsold Bourne Legacy, and we thought, okay, take a good film, let's hit the UK market massively. So we've got it in 62 cinemas. It's the biggest Polish release of a the biggest UK release of a Polish film ever.
We wait for the wind to get us out of shadow, to get through the storm.